Hi, it's Jason. Today I'll be reading Floki's Army, Chapter 18, The It Factor. Social media was something new to Jason. It never seemed like anything he would need or enjoy. It seemed like dancing to him. He understood that some people really enjoyed it, but it just wasn't for him. He heard about Facebook and that you gathered friends. It all sounded like a bunch of needy people to him. He didn't have a lot of friends, and the ones he had lived back in Ohio where he grew up. They were sacred to him, and he never felt the need for any more. One day he was talking to a friend on the phone. He was actually a newer friend named Aaron Thigpen. Aaron was a great guy who owned an athletic training facility in the San Francisco Bay Area. The name of his business was GameSpeed. During their conversation, Aaron asked Jason to give GameSpeed a like on Facebook. Jason didn't really know what that meant, but because he liked and respected Aaron so much, he agreed to do it. Why not? This way he helps a friend and also finds out about something that he would have never done on his own. It was new and interesting, but eventually Facebook became a little depressing. None of his old friends were on Facebook. They were still using stone tablets. Half the posts were about atrocious acts of cruelty or violence. A good number were about what people had for lunch. Then it came to politics. That was enough. Jason would rather punch himself in the face every day before he would listen to all the politics and the bitterness that now went along with it. Instead of punching himself in the face, Jason decided to quit Facebook. Wow, what a relief. As time went on, he realized that Facebook was the best way for him to keep in touch with his sister. Okay, he decided to start back up with Facebook. When he quit last time, he deleted his whole account, so he had no friends at all. The first time around, it seemed that what you were supposed to do is gather as many friends as possible. This time he wasn't concerned about friends. He would friend his sister again, of course, but be more selective about who he became friends with. If they were political or just plain old depressing, he would not friend them. If he made a mistake with someone, he would unfriend them. A simple formula. One day he got the brilliant idea to look and see if there were any groups that liked Shih Tzus. He came upon a group from the United Kingdom. It was called Shih Tzus and Their Owners. Other dogs were allowed, but most people came to the page because they loved the breed and found people that had something in common with them. For Jason, it was refreshing. A lot of, "Oh, your dog is cute. Thank you. Your dog is cute too." People would also share information about medical issues or food or training. There was a lot of cooperation amongst members. How nice. At that time, Jason and Paula only had Hannah. She was their world, and Jason was proud to show pictures of her and tell stories of her daily activities. His posts were generally followed by similar stories of other people's Shih Tzus. It was kind of fun. Once they brought Floki home, he was of course included in the Facebook follies. It didn't take long for Jason to recognize that people were drawn to Floki and his story. They were able to see pictures of him from the beginning and watch him blossom. It took a little while, but eventually Jason told Floki's story to the group. That made him even more popular. Of course the story was sad, especially for people who had dogs that resembled Floki. As with some of the ads on the television, sometimes the stories were just too sad, and people who truly love dogs would have to look away. The difference with Floki's story is that people could see the happy ending. He wasn't a one-eyed pit bull either. As he blossomed, he became cuter and cuter. It was much easier to get behind his story than many of the other sad stories. With help from the members of this Shih Tzu group, Floki was a runner-up in a Mr. Valentine contest that Jason never even entered him in. Someone from the rescue entered his picture and just wrote the caption, "What about Floki?" People seemed to fall in love with this boy. Jason concluded that their boy Floki had the it factor. You couldn't quite describe it, but for some reason people were drawn to him. Jason thought that maybe Floki had a higher purpose. He couldn't come up with any reasonable reason why he was able to survive all he had been through. It couldn't all be for nothing. End of chapter 18. Thank you.